Welcome to the Chamber Vibes podcast with your host, Brittany Timmons, the Greater Guthrie Chamber of Commerce CEO and President. In this podcast, you will hear from local guests who will discuss topics such as leadership, small business, and our vibrant community. You'll also hear success stories and tips from amazing local businesses, dive into important news, meet community leaders, and find out how you can get involved in our community. From the Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful and historic downtown Guthrie, America, here is Brittany Timmons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of Chamber Vibes. And today I am with my friend and chamber investor, Michelle Macias with Mouthfull Confections. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We got the cool logo, the little happy candy guy. Does he have a name?
Freeze-dried Freddy.
Freeze-dried Freddy. I did not know that. That's cute. Or maybe I did, but because I feel like I have heard you say that or post it before. But anyway, Freeze-Dried Freddy is with us today. So anyway, excited to have you on and learn more about you. And I always say, you know, I walk into these and go, oh yeah, I know a lot about their business and this and that. And then every time I leave, I've learned something new. Exactly. And that's what make these super fun. So anyway, let's just dive right in. So you do freeze-dried candy, and that's where Mouthfull Confections kind of all began. Okay, yes. So I'm just going to ask, I think I said this to you before we started the show too, like, how in the world did you get into that? And I know, you're like rolling your eyes. Everyone always has a funny story.
David and I get into anything we do.
Okay, yes. So yeah, just tell everyone like more about you guys and how this all got started.
So anybody that knows David knows that he is go, 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 go all the time. Anything that's new that comes out, he's interested in trying it or doing it. During COVID, you know, everybody was locked down. Things were just different. And we saw somebody with a freeze dryer and decided we wanted to get one just for our personal use.
Okay.
For vegetables out of our garden.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything like that. We weren't looking at doing freeze-dried candy or anything for the public.
Okay.
Did that for a few months, and then, of course, the kids start saying, try this, try and make this for us. And it just turned around to where everybody was wanting it, and I was like, it's no longer going to be free for you.
Right, because it costs money.
So let's just see what we can do. And at the time, I was doing a lot of baking, and so I had to decide which one did I really want to try to do more. So freeze-dried fruit and candy took over, and I've loved doing it. It can be very busy to do it. The fruit takes the longest. Okay. It's a big prep time, and it takes longer to process in the machines.
Okay.
But we were just selling it out at Dunnigan Farms, and
I remember that.
Very happy with what we were doing out there and everything, and had gone to a couple of the farmers markets, and somebody mentioned Shauna's name about the shops, and I thought, well, let's talk to her.
Yeah.
And it kind of turned things a little bit, made us both believe that we maybe had more of a chance to be a little bigger instead of just farmers markets and weekend things.
Right. So then you open the shop. But I got to ask, what was the first thing you freeze-dried?
Strawberries.
Strawberries? Yeah, I was going to say my girls love freeze-dried fruit. Yep. So, and then what was the first candy? Do you remember?
Skittles.
Skittles, yeah. Or those are, those
Skittles
are the favorite. Okay.
Are the favorites.
And who would have thought? Like, I guess it's still a weird I'm like, does that make me old?
No, it doesn't make you old because
so I'm like, it's such a weird concept to me. But then when I eat it, I'm like, this is really good.
But it's weird.
There's some freeze-dried Skittles there on the screen.
Yeah, the berry.
That's the berry ones. Yes,
berry.
Not the original Skittles.
Nope.
Yes.
But it's really weird how the candy works because you would look at a hard piece of candy and you would think, oh, it needs to be soft before you can put it in there. So an example, Jolly Ranchers, you don't. You just stick them straight in the freeze dryer at the temp. They're done in 4 hours. But if you want to do Starburst, that is a chewy candy.
Yes, or you do Laffy Taffy,
and
right?
Laffy Taffy, Airheads, they all have to go in the oven first and get soft.
Oh.
If you don't, they don't puff as big, so they're not as airy or not as light.
Okay, interesting.
So it's to me, it would be the other way.
Yeah.
The harder candy should go in the oven to get soft.
But that's not the case. Huh, interesting. Okay, so you guys, like you said, you heard about the shops, and so you were one of the first shops, right? And how long has that been now? A year and a half?
Yeah.
There it is on the screen. If you're watching on YouTube.
Hasn't even been that long. It was last October.
Okay. I'm Ask Heidi in my office. I'm the worst with timing. I'll be like, that was 2 weeks ago, and she'll be like, November. I'm like, oh.
So anyway, and time these days
just
is
slides
just
by.
going
So
by.
last fall in the shops, that's
October.
right, and the shops are brand new.
Right.
And so you grab the shop. And so obviously I can imagine that being a little overwhelming because you were just selling at, some vendor events and then again. So then all of a sudden now you've got like a little shop to fill.
Which was a little bit at the beginning to have enough product to get in there, but when you're determined to do something, you're going to get it done.
Yes.
And at this time, though, we only had 3 freeze dryers, and they were all located in my house, which was not fun.
Right.
Along with all the supplies. So
the packaging and all of it. Yeah.
And I'm the type of person, when I'm done with something, it has to be put up. I can't leave it on the counter. So there were a lot of stressful evenings trying to get everything put up, before you can settle down for the night. But we got it done, and we got in the shops, and things were great. We were only open on Fridays and Saturdays because David and I have normal jobs during the week. So he was very, very shocked on how well we did. And then when the holidays started rolling around and everything, it just grew bigger and bigger, and we started talking about finding a building to purchase. And the first one we were actually going to purchase backs up to our property, and it's a church that had closed, and they were selling it, and that's what we were going to do. And we just couldn't come to a total agreement. I was a little hesitant because I didn't feel it was going to be good because it was outside of the city.
Okay.
I would have preferred
maybe a little more challenge.
Yeah. I wanted something more in town. And so he just happened to ask his daughter, who works for James Long, see if anybody in town might be thinking about selling. And we got a call that afternoon that Karen White was actually wanting to sell, and we literally signed a contract on the building the next day.
Wow. So it was meant to be.
It was.
Yes.
It was totally meant to be.
Yes. So now you're downtown on Oklahoma Avenue. There they are if you're watching on YouTube.
That's from the very beginning.
Yes. And you can see that then the renovations began. So, yes.
Which was a challenge. Mm-hmm. It was very stressful at times, but completely worth it. David is such a hard worker, and he was determined from the beginning that he was going to bring back those original hardwood floors. He didn't care what it was going to take.
Because they're down there.
You knew they were down there. They were just under a lot of stuff.
Yes. Oh, they're so beautiful.
And his desire was he wanted to open on February 1st, and we didn't even close until December the 18th.
I was going to say, wintertime.
And I was telling him, there's just no way. I said, let's set a date of March 1st. And I said, we could always open a couple days early and then just do a grand opening later. And he was later very happy that I said March 1st because February 1st he was not ready.
He needed that extra 30 days.
He needed that extra 30 days. So we did a little bit of revamping, mainly paint and getting down to the hardwood floors and everything. And then, of course, went back and forth on what shelving he liked and what shelving I liked, and we came up with a compromise, and I think it turned out beautiful.
It really did. And so when you were at the shop, it was just Mouthfull Confections, your business with the freeze dry product. And so then you get the building downtown. So when did the conversation start? Kind of talk about how it evolved into what it is now, where you have over 30 vendors in there.
As soon as we purchased that building, I knew immediately what it was going to be called. I knew it was going to be Mouthfull Confections and Friends. I had met so many small businesses that are located either in Guthrie or in Logan County when I was at the shops and going to the farmers markets that I wanted to give back to them because they're just like us. They have real jobs during the day.
Trying to make
Most of them can't afford to pay for a storefront that they're only going to be in a couple of days a week.
Right.
And so when David and I first started talking about it, he had it in his mind that we would only have a few vendors and everything. We had agreed we did not want any antiques because Guthrie has plenty of beautiful antique stores.
You wanted something different.
I wanted something different. I wanted to give our bakery people and our craft people that make candles, and the 3D toys are all around now these days and everything. I wanted to give them more of a chance to be in a store that is open 5 days a week.
Right.
You know, from
with that
10 to 5 with
Yeah.
that storefront, and be able to, their stuff be on display all the time, and they can still go to work and do their normal stuff and be able to make maybe a little bit of money every month from selling their stuff at another location. So we finally agreed on shelving and whatnot and started getting everything set up. And when we had the grand opening, I think we had 16 vendors when we started.
It was pretty full right from the beginning.
It was very full.
Yeah.
We kind of spread things out and everything, made everything look a little bit bigger. And now we have 35 vendors, and I love every single one of them. They're so unique. They all work so hard to bring in great products, tasty products, always trying something new. They're always up for, if somebody gives them an idea, they try to make that idea for somebody.
It definitely seems like I think you all have a perfect example of community and working together, because it's really awesome. Like, it makes me really happy to go in there. But also just on social media to see each other sharing, you know, and there's just, I feel like Mouthfull Confections and Friends is like always out there, but it's because you have such unity with everybody trying to, you know, support, to help each other. Yeah. And it's really cool to watch just kind of from the outside in. Yes. And you can go in there and there's something for everybody. I mean, my daughter loves going in and getting freeze-dried candy, but she also got a crocheted plush. And I can't remember that vendor. You'll have to help me.
It was either Foursquare Cottage or Sanity Springs.
Okay, I think Foursquare Cottage maybe, but
is it a cow?
She used it's a cow. She used her own money, and it was very unique, something that I wouldn't have thought she would have caught her eye, you know, immediately. But she's learning to crochet. So that, awesome. You know, appealed to her, and she said, "Mom, I want this," and she paid for it. And what I love is she loves that cow, but also like somebody handmade that, you know, and we supported a small business.
Exactly.
And Aubrey got a cute little, you know, soft plushie, you know. And so anyway, I just think things like that. It's just there's something in there for everybody.
That was a big thing when we started looking at people to be vendors in the store and everything. We had put a post out on Facebook, you know, said when we were hoping to open and that we were looking for vendors. We were going to have a big vendor meeting, and we did, and we had quite a few people show up. But that was a big thing I wanted. I wanted everybody to understand that we're going to help them by being here and being open, but they have to be ready to do their part of it too, and to make posts and
work at it a little
bring
bit too.
Stuff in and not just expect for everybody else to do it for them.
Sure.
And it was a learning experience for a lot of us, even myself.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes. I know we all get busy, we all run out of time, but I try to, anytime any of our vendors make a post, we immediately share it. That way, if it'll hit up more people. You know, some people that might follow us may not follow their business.
Sure.
So in turn, it could cause them to follow it.
Right. And if somebody goes in for a Chef Jimmy pastry, while they're there, you're hoping that they find, you know, 10 other things that I know that's happened to me when I've gone in there for popcorn, you know, then you're like, oh.
We get a lot of that. People come in. I mean, we still have people that live here in Guthrie that come in and say, we didn't even know you were here. And
Which
I'm like,
happens
sometimes
everywhere.
I'm like, really?
I know.
But it's nice to hear that, and it's nice to see them come back.
Sure.
So it
does take some
just
time.
Very warming. It does.
Yeah.
And we're still very new.
6 months. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
or not even.
No,
4.
it's only,
See, I told you I was bad with time.
5.
But yeah, 5. There we go.
5 this
can't
month.
math. Yes, and again, if you are watching on YouTube, there are tons of pictures. Michelle said there are so many to choose from of all of the different items that you can find. And such a great place, too. Like, you know, I see the Guthrie ornament. A great place for tourists, you know, and people visiting our town. to also snag them something Guthrie, you
exactly.
know, with Guthrie logo or Oklahoma or whatever it may be. So, well, and you guys are, you know, the perfect model business of, you know, what I know Shonda with the city's vision was, you know, when opening these shops, and super awesome that we were able to get a T-Mobile grant match, you know, with the city to create these little incubators. And the goal, you know, is for the businesses to start there and then find something more permanent if that's what they're wanting to do, which I think, like you said, most people would like to do that, but usually finances or location or whatever, you know, might be the case. But you guys, you know, put your heart and mind to it, opened it, and then you, what Shonda calls graduated. You graduate, right. You're alumni now. She referred to you guys as alumni that day. I was like, that's so cute. Yes, and so found a place, you know, a permanent spot in downtown Guthrie.
And the bank was crazy enough to loan us the money to get it.
There you go. Thank you to the bank.
That's how it happened. It's not that we had the money to do it.
Yes,
the bank was just like generous.
Yes, but you were driven, you know, to get there. To get there. And so that's really cool. And then of course there was several other businesses that have done the same, started off at the shops and then moved on. And so there is Susan with Painted Mushroom, also Chamber investor, and talk about the tiles that she made.
She has made a tile for every single vendor that is in the store. She will either find their logo, or if they don't have a logo, she'll kind of look at some of their products and just design something on her own. And it's been great.
She's so talented.
We didn't, at the beginning we thought once the vendor was there for a few months, we'd put their name somewhere on the front window real small. And I started thinking, golly, we can't do that.
There's a lot, right?
There's a lot of people, and I don't want to cover up the windows. I want everything to be able to be seen.
That's such a cute idea, though.
So we decided to build a sign.
I love that.
And that's what it turned into.
And then if somebody needs to move out or add or change,
and exactly, they get to take their tile with them when they go. So
I love that. Yeah,
it's blown over a couple times, but it's lived.
It's lived. That's good. Lived. Well, kudos to Susan and shout out to her. She is very artistic, very good at what she does. I know she's partnered with Novel Idea to do some classes there this summer, and she's beyond talented.
She has a wonderful, unique way of doing her art. It's different, but it's beautiful and classy.
Yeah,
and it just. Anybody can find something from her that they like.
Yeah, she'll do like Guthrie stuff, and then of course she has like the cute mushroom stuff, the frogs, you know, just all of it is super
she
cool.
Does great.
And there's a picture from their ribbon cutting. So look how happy Susan is in the front, smiling. I love it.
It was a great day.
It was a great day. Chamber ambassadors there supporting too, and yeah, it was a good day for sure. Lots of people came out. So I remember it was packed inside that day.
It was.
I think I did a video, and
it was very packed. I was actually very nervous that day. Yeah. Very, very nervous that day.
It went really well. So yeah, we're excited. I love your store. I think the collaboration is just a beautiful thing, and it's fun to see you guys adding things, and then it's fun to see what the vendors are coming up with, and it's
unbelievable sometimes. I sometimes wonder, how did you even come up with another idea? I mean, Chef Jimmy, he always has something tasty, you know, and he's always trying to change and have different flavors and everything. So we have him, and then Garden of Eden, when Jessie started, she was very nervous about getting started and everything, but she is really building her brand. She has so many
about to do candles.
She actually has them on the shelf now.
Oh, good! I need to go get one.
But it's all natural products that are better for you. She's got the all natural beeswax candles. But I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, we have Lotus Pond and Inspire, Dunnigan Farms. We have the viral Dubai chocolate bar that everybody's talking about.
I've heard, haven't had it.
So we have a new vendor that actually started today. The business is called Cocoa and Mint.
Okay.
The owner is Cassandra Davis. She has made those chocolate bars. So,
which Cassandra's like that? Her name's she's local.
Yes, she is local.
I was like, she's local to Guthrie. Yeah, I know her name. Yeah.
Down at American Eagle for years.
Yes, that's the Cassandra I thought we were talking about. Very cool.
So she's now dabbling in chocolate.
Okay.
And so if you want to try the viral Dubai chocolate bar, come and get it.
Where you can get it. Yeah. And then you have Poppin' On By.
Yes.
popcorn, and she's also still in the shops, but selling there too.
And then we have Lucky Duck, who's still in the shops.
Yes.
Did Bushy Rooster move out of the shops yet?
I think they're still there.
Okay, so I know that they're actually opening a storefront also in Perkins.
Yeah, very cool.
So they're with us as well.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Jewelry,
I could go on.
I mean, the jams, D&D's, jams. There's
crocheted stuff. There's backpacks, embroidered backpacks that are actually beautiful.
Oh, cool. There you go. Back to school shopping.
The bag ladies have some beautiful backpacks there, and they can always customize them however you want. Bitchin' and Stitchin' is in there, and they do baseball caps and
embroidery stuff,
and then barbecue sauces and rubs. And then the Cave, who's still in the shops, has all of their all-natural foods.
Awesome.
So
and a lot more.
Yes.
I did not have Michelle bring the whole list, but
there are a lot.
Yes.
I could go on and on.
Definitely shout out to all the vendors and check out their Facebook page, because then you can see them all there. So so now that you're downtown Guthrie, I mean, you're like us, you're down in the heart of the historic district, where all the action is. What are some of your favorite things about Guthrie? I mean, obviously you guys live here too. But what do you love about being in Guthrie?
David grew up here. He's been here all of his life.
Okay.
And I've only been in Guthrie for 8 years.
Yeah, you're a transplant.
I'm a transplant. Yep. I'm actually a transplant from Texas.
Okay, that's okay. But I went to school in Texas.
But I did grow up in the sticks, and that's what Guthrie reminds me of. It reminds me of back home. I love the small town vibe. Mm-hmm. I don't care for the hustle and bustle that you get when you get closer to the city.
Yeah.
I like being outside city limits and having the area to roam and play.
Yeah. And then when you want to come to town, you're there for
and you're close
your
enough.
Work.
You're 8 minutes away, whatever, and it's close enough. But people in Guthrie are just super sweet.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to help everybody. All the small businesses in Guthrie are always supporting everybody else. The Licorice Man is a huge example of that. They constantly share everybody's
when you guys compliment each other, you're like, sweet treats. We got multiple options, Rick's and you all and Licorice Man, and lots of options.
And that's what they do. But that's what a lot of the small businesses here, they all understand that we're all fighting to do the same thing.
Yep.
To make something bigger and better for whoever's with us.
Well, and especially when, that's a good point, because also, some people will see things as competition. Like, oh, we got another, whatever it is. And you're like, but there is room for everyone. And everyone also has their niche things, that they specialize in.
Well,
so
sometimes competition is good.
It is.
It drives you to do better.
That's right.
Or to try new things. And I've felt that way a couple times.
Sure.
I mean, there's other freeze-dried people here in town that do stuff.
Yep.
And you put it past. You get past it.
Yeah.
And you just find something else to go with it.
Right. And what makes yours unique or whatever that is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. I agree. Well, you have the perfect mindset about it for sure. And like I said, you all are just modeling how we should work together as a community. Like you're doing that literally within your stores. So anyway, well, is there anything you want to add? Anything you have coming up? What are your hours? We need to talk about that.
Okay. So hours are... They've changed so much recently between the road closure and Chef Jimmy wanting to be open
early for breakfast
and stuff. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays we're open from 10 to 5.
Okay.
And then Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays we open at 7 a.m. so everybody can get their pastries on the way to work.
All right, there they are on the Facebook
page. And then
page.
Sunday, Chef Jimmy is there from 7 to 1 usually.
Oh, okay. Okay, and I have noticed, we didn't talk about this yet, that several of the vendors work in there to help out, right? Yes, and that kind of keeps you staffed because, like you said, you guys both have other jobs.
Right. So my mom helps quite a bit. Yes. She's retired, so she has her days that she works, and she recently has asked for more time to work.
Well, that's good.
She really enjoys being up there and talking to people and meeting people. Awesome. But we do have a couple of vendors that help us out each week just because David and I do work.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It helps them with their booth rent space.
Sure.
And it's
helps you all.
It's people I trust.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
So
okay. So and then follow the Facebook page. There's the contact information right there.
117 West Oklahoma.
Yes, 117 West Oklahoma. Lucky for us, just a few doors down from the chamber.
Exactly.
Yes, I've sent my girls over several times this summer. I'm like, go get a treat, go get a treat. So anyway, and then of course upcoming events, just things that'll be happening downtown or
just with this being our first year, it's so hard to know what goes on when. It's like this last weekend when it was Christmas in July.
Yes.
We found out a week before, and it's like, I wish I would have known sooner so I could have prepared better. So this is really a learning year for us. So I'm kind of just going with the flow and following everybody.
Yeah.
But
in that group, I will say kind of grew that event quickly than what it has been in years past. So anyway, but I know downtown was hopping.
It was a good Saturday. Yeah. It really was. But back to school is getting ready to happen. We might try to do an event for that. And then we're going into the holidays. We're going to have Halloween. We already have people that have brought fall stuff in to start getting people excited about cooler weather. I know I'm ready for cooler weather.
Same. Amen, sister. Yeah.
So,
and then you'll be downtown for homecoming. This will be your first time for homecoming, and let me tell you, that'll be a great day because people hang out right there in front of your store, and it's children and people are going to want snacks while they're waiting on the parade.
But they constantly say, "Let me go get something sweet."
Yes. So that'll be fun for you guys to experience that for the first time.
Yeah, we're really excited. Yeah. When 89ers came, I had been warned about how it would be, and I thought I was prepared. But it was a busy day, so I can only imagine. I know how it was like during the Victorian walk at the shops last year. I was blown away.
Yeah.
So
you have all that to look forward to.
I have that to look forward to, and I'm
not
trying to
worry about.
Well, I'm just trying to make sure that everybody in there with us is prepared for all of these
things.
Yes,
that's good. Yeah, because you'll have to help guide, especially if it's their first time.
It's all of our first times this year. So yes.
Awesome. Well, and we'll go ahead and do a plug too, because Michelle and I talked about it on the walk over, depending on when you're watching the show. But today is August 1st that we're doing the recording. But for the whole month of August, the Chamber is doing our Shop Guthrie $1,000 giveaway. Again, this year, it's our second year to do it. So any receipt submitted between August 1st and August 31st at 11:59 p.m., and it will shut off at that time, gets an entry in to win $1,000 cash. And any business in Guthrie counts, but any chamber investor business gets you 2 entries. So, yes. And so we will have, of course, just went out on our social, but we will have some flyers out. And so Michelle and I talked about, when you're shopping at Mouthfull, save your receipt, take a picture, submit it, and you'll get double entries for that giveaway. So we're excited about that, and we'll get to hopefully drive up some sales for August, and somebody will win $1,000 on September 1st. So.
That would be great. Whoever wins the $1,000 is very lucky.
Yes. And anybody can win other than chamber staff. So chamber investors, anybody. So I told Michelle, she goes, "Oh, I'm gonna save my receipts." I said, yes, when you're shopping local.
Because I shop downtown a lot.
Yes, absolutely. So anyway, well, thank you for being my guest today.
Well, thank you for
telling your story, and thank you for what you guys are doing in downtown Guthrie. It's awesome. So
we love Guthrie.
Yes, I'm glad, and you can tell for sure. So congratulations on this being a shop alumni and the beautiful location downtown. So if you haven't been by Mouthfull Confections and Friends, make sure that you do so soon. So
come see us.
Yes. Have a great one, everybody. We'll catch you next time for Chamber Vibes.
Thanks for listening to the Chamber Vibes podcast from Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful downtown Guthrie, America. Be sure and check out a new episode every other Monday. And until then, remember to choose Guthrie.